Hi everybody, I'm Zilloblitz and welcome to our 11th patrol with the U-9 Teufelsfish, playing Raiders of the Deep from Compass Games, the World War I U-boat simulation game. Now this will be our last patrol with the U-9 Teufelsfish. That's right, headquarters has informed us that we're going to be getting a U-boat upgrade after this patrol, assuming we survive it. So let's get out into the Atlantic, go hunting, and then see if we can get an upgraded U-boat at the end of this patrol. May 1916, let's recap things and then go right out to sea. To date, we've had 10 patrols, 7 successes and 3 failures. To date, we've sunk 8 ships and captured 2 for a total tonnage of 33,600 tons. Now, hunting conditions on this patrol are identical to the last patrol. We could run into enemy Q ships, which are warships disguised as merchant ships. Cruiser rules are in effect, so we can't freely attack unescorted merchant ships. And the enemy escorts and Q ships now have depth charges, which we of course want to be wary of. And again, if we survive this patrol, High Command has informed us that we'll be getting a U-boat upgrade. We'll see what type of U-boat we get at the end of this patrol, assuming of course that we can survive it. Here is our beloved U-9 Teufelsfish. It's a Type U-5 as we are heading out with the last patrol with this one. We've got our good G6 torpedoes up front, 6 torpedoes in all, and only a mere 6 hull slots here. An upgraded U-boat will probably have improvements to this, giving us a little bit more durability should we get attacked by depth charges. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit though. Let's check our route and get right out to sea. If you've seen previous patrols, you know the drill, but 2 transit zones to get out into the Atlantic, and then we have the range to explore 3 zones in the British Isles before we have to loop back and head on home. Let's head into our first transit zone here. See, we're hoping for nothing happening at all. Ooh, we get a 10, almost got a 12 there, which is nothing happening at all. That's our goal, to successfully and peacefully make it through the transit zones without running into a mine. Let's go to our second one here. We get a 5. We're out into the open waters. Now, hunting is moderately good now in this time period in the war. We're looking for some ships to get some sinkings here. Let's see what we get for the first one. 6, nothing. Okay, so we will slide past up into the second zone. That's not a good start for us. This is, I mean, we can see here on the chart that the odds are with us that we're gonna get something on this patrol here. Oh! Snake eyes, a capital ship. Suddenly, our pulse races here a little bit. What does this mean? I had to pause a little bit to look this up because we haven't run into a capital ship in this campaign yet. The first thing that we're going to do is roll up on this capital ship target roster for 1916. On a 1 or a 2, it's the 11,100 ton Gallios. 3 or 4, the 13,400 ton Regina Margarita. And the 5 or 6 would be the 14,000 ton HMS Russell. I feel like it's got to be a Margarita, right? It is. I just knew it. I knew it was going to be a Margarita. Okay, so let's set up our target chart here. The other thing we need to determine is whether it's day or night. And this could be potentially very important because there are escorts always with capital ships, and we can't follow a capital ship to try to change it to nighttime. We've either got to go in now or not go in at all. So hoping for the first time ever that we get a 4, 5, or 6 and it's nighttime. No, of course it's daytime. It's always daytime. That's actually not very good for a capital ship, but I think duty demands that we go in, so we're going to go for it. All right, here we go. Now I will say, so we're going to go in at medium range. We have to go in submerged. We can't do a surface attack during the day against a capital ship. That would be suicide. So we're going in submerged at medium range. We're going to fire both of our best 2 torpedoes at the Margarita. It has 5 hit points worth of damage, which means it's fairly unlikely we're going to sink it. But if we could damage it and get away, we could come in for another round. We could follow it, then come in for another round later and see if we could finish it off. That might be our only hope. The imminent bad news about all this, though, is that because it's daytime, the enemy's going to get a +1 die roll modifier for detection against us. And then because it's a capital ship, there's also another +1 die roll modifier, which means we're going to get detected on a 7 or greater. So the odds are very likely we're going to get detected. Very likely we're going to suffer a depth charge attack, which means that things could get ugly fast. However, duty compels us to go forward. We can't We can't not try to sink the Margarita, especially it's the Margarita. So we're going to fire our 2 torpedoes. Now, there is a chance we could sink it. That would be amazing, and then we can get away. But let's see what this happens. In order to hit it, we need, firing at medium range with the G6 torpedoes, a straight 0 to 8. And the dud roll on this one is 2. The white dice are a hit, and the black dice is the dud roll. Come on, boys. Let's get this. Fire 1. Oh my gosh, that's such a bad roll. So far wide we miss. It actually isn't a bad roll for the dud thing. It's not a dud, but we miss completely with the 12. That's about as wide as we could. Settle down, boys. Breathe. That's about as bad a shot as you can get. Fire 2. 7 and a 5. Okay, so we got a hit. That's good. Now we have to roll to see what damage we get. And if we look at this table here, we can see that on a roll of a 1, we would sink the Margarita. We would do 5 damage and sink it. That's written there as a modifier, so that was an after. It's on the errata chart to change it to a 5. Anything else, we'll put some damage on it though. Come on, let's get lucky. 6. We do 1 damage on the Margarita, and that's not what we were hoping. So we can follow it should we be able to get away from this, this escort detection. But now we have to pay the piper. Indeed, we have an 8 or less normally to escape detection. However, that's the good news. The bad news is that it's +1 because it's a capital ship and +1 because it's a torpedo during the daytime. So we need a 6 or less to escape undetected. We've been really good at detection, so let's hopefully we can get away. Oh, that 2 and then a 5, we almost got it. So because it's a capital ship, we have been detected, and the depth charges will start to rain down on us. So here's the chart for the escort and air attack. We're going to see how many hits they get. There are no modifiers on us here, so we're just going to roll for damage, hoping for a nice low number. Get an 8. That's not as low as I was hoping, but it's 2 hits. Okay, so now we got to pull out and see what damage has come onto us here. We'll roll the black die will be the first digit, the white die will be the second digit, rolling on the damage chart here. Get a 26. Minor damage. Oh, nice. Minor damage is no effect. So maybe some light bulbs broke or something like that. That's good. The U-boat gods have shined on us for the first attack. Let's take this second hit. 36. Deck gun. Oh, okay. So our deck gun takes damage. Come over to our Teufelsfish, and our 3.7 centimeter deck gun is now damaged. So we've survived the first round of combat. That does mean unless we can fix that, we won't be able to engage surface ships with anything except torpedoes. That's not good. Maybe we can get them to heave to by colors. I'm not sure how that's all going to work out, but it's not a problem for right now. Now we need to go back to our next round of escort detection. The worst news here is that it's +1 for a capital ship, +1 for that torpedo during the day, and then also now a +1 because we were previously detected, which means that instead of an 8 or less, we need a 5 or less. This is getting pretty grim here. Come on, let's get out of here. Oh my God, an 11. Okay. And it's 11 plus 3, which is a 14, which means that they're going to get +1 attack roll modifier on their attack as well. So we're going to roll +1 to this. Nothing else applies yet because the deck gun doesn't impact this. But we are going to roll this die and then add 1 to it. Oh my gosh, this is getting bad for us now. 7 plus 1 is an 8. 8 again is 2 hits. Okay, so we take 2 more. Oh, sorry. Okay, it is -1 for every damage depth charge attack after the first until July 1917. So actually this goes back to a 7. It's still 2 hits, but that's good to know. So the next one will be -2. So 2 more hits on the Teufelsfisch. Tight 13 is a crew injury. Okay, we'll see what other type of damage this is, and then we will roll for the crew injury. 26, again, that's minor damage. Excellent. Another light bulb breaks, but we have a crew member wounded. So we're going to roll a D12, and we're going to see who this hurts. Get a 6. That is the crew in general. Okay, and we're going to roll a 1 to 6 to see if it's a light wound, severe wound, or killed in action. Get 5, which is a severe wound. Okay, so down to the crew status. We dropped severe wounds on it. This doesn't have an impact unless everybody's hurt. But one of our prime crew members was not injured at all, which is good. However, we go up to our next round of combat. This could go on for quite a while here. We have to roll a 5 or less. There's nothing else here. We could exceed test depth here and try to get away that way. And you know, I think actually we're going to do that because this is our last patrol with this Teufelsfish anyway. So if we do damage hull, the refit's not going to matter because we're going to be shifting to a new U-boat. So let's take her down. Yeah, we're going to take her down to and put some, so that puts 1 point of hull damage on our hull, but it gives us a -1 die roll modifier to this, which means that instead of a 5 or less, we need a 6 or less because it's 8 or less. We've got capital ship torpedo during the day. We've got the previously detected modifier and then -1 because we're exceeding test depth. Now normally we'd have to roll 2d6, and if we roll greater than that number of hull damage, we would be sunk or equal to it. It gets really bad, but because there's only 1 spot of damage, there's no penalty for this at the moment. 6 or less to get out of here. Yes! Oh, okay. Whew. We're out. We've escaped detection and we can break off on this now. And now I think what we can do is we can try to follow the ship. But first up, we're going to reload with the C-3591s up here, and we can roll to see if we can fix the deck gun. Our engineer is DM Tim, and to fix the deck gun, we have to roll a 1 or a 2. Otherwise, a 3 to 6, it's rendered inoperable for the rest of the patrol. Come on, fix it. A 4, nope, it breaks. So our deck gun is rendered inoperable for the rest of the tour. We can't fix hull damage and there is no flooding yet. So we're dented and our deck gun's been wiped off the U-boat. But now we can follow the capital ship and do this all over again. All right, if it was real before, it's getting even realer now. So we can, because the Margarita is damaged, we can automatically follow it. And because we can automatically follow it, we have the selection as to whether it's going to be day or night when we attack. And we are going to come in at night. Now, we're going to need to put damage on this. We're going to do a surfaced night attack, and we're going to try to come in at close range. The consequences of this for U-boat, for our detection, are dire. On a 5 or less, we are going to get detected because we're coming into close range. It's a capital ship, and we're going to fire a second salvo. So we're going to fire both our forward and our aft torpedoes, all four torpedoes, going after the Margarita. We're going to see if we can take this out. And so here we go. Now, because we're coming into close range, we have to go through an escort detection check first, which means that we have to roll, a detection occurs on a roll of 10 or higher. So a 2 to 9 and we get through. Otherwise, we're immediately detected on the surface and things get ugly really badly, really quickly. So we're hoping we can sneak through. It's a cloudy night. Let's go through. Oh, seriously? Oh, that's bad. Oh, I thought I had this all worked out, how it was going to be our day, and now it's not, because they have immediately detected us. And that means it's a ramming attack, and we're on the surface, and it's going to be bad. Okay, let me just figure out the math here. So maybe it's not that bad. We don't have any damage that impacts things here. Oh, no, we do. It's night surface attack, which is +1, and then it's a +2 for a ramming attack. Oh my gosh, if we get a 13, we're sunk. So if we roll a 10 again, which we just rolled, they ram us and they sink us, and the Teufelsfish in our entire campaign is done. Oh, this is, who's in charge of this U-boat? This is pretty nasty here. So U-boat gods are hopefully with us here. Oh, I saw that 6 and I thought we were done. It's not good though. We got a 9 and it's a night surface attack, which makes it a 10, and it's a ramming attack, which makes it a 12. So this is a 5 hits on our U-boat. So we're not getting off lightly here, but we were almost immediately sunk. Teufelsfish in dire straits here. Okay, so we have to roll now for 5 hits. Let's roll lots of 26s. 66, that's not good. Oh, fuel tank. Okay, that doesn't sound good at all. Fuel tank means it's going to give us +1 modifier on, well, okay, it's getting bad now. Fuel tanks damaged. That doesn't sound good at all. Oh gosh, yeah, fuel tanks leaking. During combat, it's a +1 escort detection and +1 for escort air attacks following combat attempt repair. So they're gonna get +1 on detection on us again. Oh, this is getting dire quickly here. 4 more to go. 33 hull, okay? So our hull takes a second hit, which means that we're gonna have to go to extra depth here anyway. Another one we get 55, stop it with the doubles. Hull again, 2 more hits to take. Okay. 52. Hull, seriously, oh my God. Okay, not flooding, we're dented, but we're not leaking. 64. Forward torpedo door. Okay, that's not good. They give us a lot of damage charts here, little chits. I understand now why. Forward torpedo door is damaged, which means I don't think we can fire our forward torpedoes. Is that was 5, right? Okay, yeah, because we did the fuel tanks, the forward torpedo tubes, the fuel tanks, the torpedo tubes, and then 3 hits on the hull. That was our 5 hits. Okay, now let's figure out what detection is and think about what we're going to try to do to get out of this, which is, I don't think it's really good here. Okay, so fuel tanks damaged, +1. It's a capital ship, +2. Previously detected, +3. Now I think close range after firing means that that was the one that wouldn't have impacted, would impact us now because we didn't fire. So we're out of that first round, I think. I'm not quite sure on that one. I'm gonna check that one. I took a moment to look some stuff up. I couldn't quite find the answer to the question on one of the die roll modifiers. However, the bad news is after a ramming attack, there is an immediate depth charge attack. So before we even can go to try to escape detection, we have to see if we survive the depth charge attack as well. We're gonna roll again, and the fuel tanks are hit from the damaged on the ramming attack. So we have to +1 modifier this. We get a 7 + 1 is an 8, which is 2 hits. So we have to survive these 2 hits. It's getting kind of close here. There are some places where like a 65 is a hull damage times 2. We only have 2 hull spots left here. Oh, look at that. Are you kidding me? Call the 65. It's a 64, which is the forward torpedo door, which is already broken, so we can't break things that are already broken. Rolling again. Oh my gosh, they're trying to get us. 63 is crew injury times 2. So let's see who is hurt here. Here is our crew injury roll. We'll have to roll this twice. We get a 6. It is the crew again. Okay, that's not good. And it is 4 severe wounds. Oh my gosh, everybody's dying and getting hurt and yeah, okay. So a good percentage of our crew are hurt now. Let's go to our second, we have to roll the second crew injury here, which is an 8. That's the crew as well. Oh boy, okay. Let's see what we get here. Let's get a light wounds, 6. Oh no, that's killed in action. That's good. Okay, now how does this work when we already have people wounded or killed and stuff? Okay, I think I did that wrong on the first one there. I believe it says that 2 severe wounds is killed. So I think what happens is this one goes, the first one would be, instead of having 2 with severe wounds, this one would be killed. And then this, the second one here, comes in at killed as well because we had another one there. So we've got a lot of dead crew members now. And that was the second attack on us. So we've survived that, but now we have to go to detection again. And what I'm trying to figure out, it says a +1 modifier on detection at close range after firing. But I'm not sure if in this case, because we were trying to get to close range and got detected, whether that modifier applies. I'm gonna go try to hunt for an answer, although I'm not having much success. The other question would be, does that apply only for the first round? So I'm not sure. So figuring out the next roll of detection, we have +1 because our fuel tanks are damaged, +1 because it's a capital ship, and +1 because we're previously detected. So that means we are -3 on our roll, which means instead of an 8 or less, we need a 5 or less. Now the one I have a question on is close range after firing, which is a +1 modifier. Because technically we didn't fire, and I suppose if we got detected on the way into close range, maybe we never got to close range. So I'm not quite sure if that one should apply to us or not. I'm going to roll the dice and we're going to go from there. And if it matters, I'll stop here until I can get clarity on the answer. We could exceed test depth, but if we do that and then we roll a 5 or less, we would immediately be sunk. So I'm going to hold off on that. We're hoping for a 5 or less on this roll, or another 4 to escape detection. If we could, we'll survive. If not, this could be the end of the Teufelsfish. The dice roll gods and U-boat gods hopefully are with us here. Let's get a good roll. 10, that's not good at all. So detected again. Now, we get some die roll modifiers here on the number of hits again. Fuel tanks are out, so it's +1. And then it's -1 for every depth charge attack after the first. So there, -1 +1 means it's just whatever this roll is. Let's get a 4, 5, or 6 again. 10, seriously? That's 3 hits, okay. So it's looking kind of grim here. Oops, wrong dice, do that again. So it's looking kind of grim here. Black die goes first, a 12. Oh, it's flooding, okay. All right, so U-boat has started to flood now. That's unusual. It's taken us so long to get that one. 2 more hits to sustain here. 32, minor damage. Thank the U-boat gods. Okay. 13, crew injury. Lovely. Okay, since like all it seems to hit are our crew here, hopefully it'll be something other than, well, I'm not actually sure that is what we want. Hopefully something other than our generic crew. We're running out of crew members here too. A 4 is the engineer. Okay, that's not the one we wanted hurt. Let's see what we get here. 4, severe wound. So I assume that means because our engineer now has had a severe wound, that's DM Tim, that he can't fix anything, would be my guess. Yeah, severe wound or killed in action cannot perform duties. So I think, what does that mean with flooding? So I checked on the flooding with the engineer severely wounded. Normally a 1 to 4 would stop the flooding and we wouldn't suffer any additional flooding this round. However, it's a +1 modifier because our engineer is wounded. We get a 1, so there's no additional flooding. Okay, so we're hanging in there. We've survived this round of combat. Let's go now to escort detection again. Once again, we need a 5 or less. Our fuel tanks are damaged, are previously detected, and we're not sure about the close range one. We assume it doesn't count. Let's get a 4 or less just to make it really clear. Those odds are not good. Yeah, an 8. Okay, so it's not mattering. So we're detected again, and let's see for hits here. Now it's -2 because it's the second depth charge attack after the first. Our fuel tanks are hit +1, so -1 on this roll. 7 minus 1 is 6. Only 1 hit. Excellent. Okay, we're taking a beating, but we're hanging in there. Come on, Teufelsfish. An 11, that doesn't sound good. Batteries, okay, that can't be good. Okay, so +1 on the batteries means that escort air attack will get 1, it'll be more damaging to us, but it doesn't impact our discoverability at all. So let's mark the batteries damaged. There we go. We're fine, no worries. Okay. That was the 1 hit there. We get to escape detection again now. So we need a 5 or less, we think. Let's get a 4 and clear it up. Oh, we had a 1 and then we got a 6. I was so excited. So detected again, a 7. Okay, so now we're -3 on this, but we're +1 for the escort attack's effectiveness. But we're +1 because of the batteries and +1 because of the fuel tank. So it's -1 on this roll total. We get an 8 minus 1 is a 7, which is 2 hits. Okay. Come on, Teufelsfish, hang in there. 35, that feels like a whole thing. Oh, it is! Gah! We're a crumpled tin can. Another roll, 2 hits. 12, flooding, okay. That's okay. We have to roll to see if we can stop the flooding after this. We need a 1 to 4, 1 to 3. Yeah, we're good at stopping the flooding with all our dead crew members. We go to the next round of detection. We can't exceed test depth now either. There's nothing we can do except hope the U-boat gods shine on us with a 5 or less. Whoops, that hit the top. I'm gonna roll it again. That hit the top and bounced in, so it didn't go into the channel. 8, okay. So once again, it's -1 on this roll. Oh, seriously? 10 is 3 hits. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're seeing the end of the Teufelsfisch. A hit to our hull finishes us off. 13 is a crew injury. Okay, it's not what we wanted. Let's roll for crew injury. 5 is the doctor. Okay, and doctor is lightly wounded. No problems there. That's not a problem. That's our first hit. Doctor lightly wounded. I've got a lot of dead. Engineer severely wounded. Doctor's lightly wounded. And we have 2 more hits to handle here. Okay, come on, hang in there. I have a feeling we can get out of this if we can survive this round. 54. Flooding times 2. That's not good. Okay. Then we go again. Last one. Let's not get the hull. 26. Yes, I like the 26s. Minor damage, so no impact. We have to roll for additional flooding. We get a 2, so no problems. We stop the flooding once again. We're good at that. It's looking pretty dire here. We need to escape here. We need a 5 or less. Maybe a 4 or less. I'm not quite sure on the rule result here. Let's see what we get. Oh, seriously, we suck at detection. 10. Let's get for hits. It's -1 on this now. Oh my God. They're pounding us. So it's 10. 3 more hits. There's no way we can survive this. 11. Batteries. They're already broken. So that's not a problem. 26. Yes. Minor damage. Again. 1 more survives. Can we? 12. Flooding. No. Ah. Okay. So if we... Okay. When all boxes are flooded, U-boats must blow ballast and surface or be sunk. So we have to stop the flooding. On a 1 to 4 normally, but it's a +1 because our engineer is severely wounded and regular crew members have to do it. So a 1 to 3 and we stay submerged. Oh, yes. Okay. We're hanging in there. 1 to 3. Now the question is, can we get out of here? 5 or less, please. -1 on this. Oh my God, look at these big numbers. 10. -1 is a 9, which is 3 hits. This is the end. There's no way. 13. Crew injury. Oh my God, this is the mission that's going to go on forever. The crew injury is to our crew, who's already suffered immensely here. And the crew gets a light wounds. And I think that would be on the last one here. Okay. So that's it's a Red Cross U-boat. 2 more hits to survive, right? Let's get this. Okay, maybe we survive. 2 more hits to survive. 54. That feels like a hull, unfortunately. Oh no! Flooding times 2. So we have to surface. Let's see what that means. But I think it is the end of our career. Yeah, the Teufelsfisch. This is the end here. We have to scuttle the Teufelsfisch. On a 2 to 11, we're successful. On a 12, we fail, and the U-boat is captured. Oh, there's our 3. Ah, seriously, U-boat gods not smiling on us here. All those rolls we needed to escape detection, and we've scuttled the U-boat fine. So the U-boat is scuttled, and everyone is captured. And the career of the U-9 Teufelsfisch, just before we were supposed to get an upgrade, comes to an end. Oh, at least we survived the war, I guess. Well, most of us. We lost like probably 20 crew members, but other than that, we're doing pretty well. Well, there you have it, everyone. We were a little bit bold on that one, but I feel like at a certain point, you've got to just go in and try to sink a capital ship like that. And the math just didn't work out this time for us. I mean, we just got hammered on those die roll attacks, and we got detected coming in. We just couldn't get anything to get away here. The U-9 Teufelsfisch goes to the bottom of the water. Well, I guess we managed to sink it, but we're all captured. We spend the rest of our days in a prisoner of war camp. The final tally then for us, 12 missions, 12 patrols, 8 successes, and 4 failures. The last one, of course, being a failure here. And that on the determining victory chart is 0. We ended up with 33,600 tons. That ends up as a defeat because we're below 50,000 tons. You are a disgrace to the Kaiserliche Marine, your family, and yourself. If you have survived, consider a career after the war on land. If your U-boat was captured, which it was not, you delivered a German code book and other secrets into the Entente hands, but that didn't happen. So thank you everybody for your service on our U-boat, on our U-9 Teufelsfisch. It's been a fun campaign. I really enjoyed this. Happy to take comments, thoughts, and questions, but we lost it to a margarita. I suppose that's a good way to go, huh? Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.